Let's talk about building a rich life. You're working hard, earning more, and investing for your future. You worry about market crashes or recessions. But the biggest threat to your wealth isn't out there. It's divorce. Most people obsess over investments, but walk into marriage, their biggest financial partnership, unprepared. Divorce can wipe out decades of progress, especially in your peak earning years. Ignoring this risk doesn't protect you, it just leaves you vulnerable. Nearly half of marriages end in divorce, and the financial fallout is massive. A rich life means preparing for the worst, not just hoping for the best. Let's break the silence and see how divorce can systematically destroy wealth, and what you can do about it. Divorce isn't just emotional, it's a financial earthquake. Studies show divorced individuals can lose up to 77% of their wealth. Why? Because everything acquired during marriage, house, investments, retirement funds, gets split, often 50-50ths. That $500,000 nest egg? Now it's $250,000. And you might have to sell assets at a loss or pay extra taxes just to divide them. Then your expenses double. 2 homes, 2 sets of bills, less left to save or invest. For many, just staying afloat replaces building wealth. Women's household income can drop by 41% after divorce. Men's net worth takes a huge hit too. These numbers aren't just statistics, they're a wake-up call to protect yourself. Here's how your wealth evaporates. All marital assets, home, investments, retirement accounts, are split, regardless of who earned or saved more. Selling a house in a bad market? You lose money. Buying out your ex? You drain your cash. Investment accounts often get liquidated, triggering taxes and lost growth. Retirement accounts are split by law, instantly having your future nest egg. The real loss isn't just the money, it's the years of compounding and sacrifice erased overnight. Every dollar you saved, every choice you made, gets cut in half. It's not a temporary setback, it's a permanent reduction. This is why proactive financial planning in marriage isn't optional, it's essential. Understand the stakes and plan accordingly. After the assets split, your expenses explode. Marriage brings economies of scale, shared rent, bills, groceries. Divorce means 2 households, 2 sets of everything. Your combined costs can jump from $4,000 to $6,000 a month, even with smaller places. Savings rates plummet. Many go from saving 20% to nothing. The focus shifts from building wealth to just surviving. Some rack up debt, pause retirement contributions, or move to cheaper cities. Each decision digs a deeper hole. This isn't a short-term problem, it can derail your finances for years. The double hit of lost assets and higher expenses is a vicious cycle. The worst loss isn't money, it's time. Time is what makes your investments grow. Divorce resets your compounding clock. Have your retirement account at 35, and you lose $1 million in future growth by 65. Higher expenses make it nearly impossible to catch up. Years spent recovering are years not spent investing. While others build wealth, you're stuck playing financial defense. This lost decade can mean working into your 70s instead of retiring comfortably. The triple threat: slashed assets, higher costs, and lost time. Don't let silence or discomfort keep you from protecting your future. Have the tough conversations now. Beyond splitting assets, a hidden river of wealth flows out of your bank account. Divorce involves lawyers, mediators, accountants, and appraisers. The average cost can range from $15,000 to $30,000, and easily soar into 6 figures if contested. Every disagreement becomes a billable hour, draining the very assets you are trying to divide. This money could have been invested or saved for retirement. The legal meter is running throughout a process that can drag on for months, preventing you from moving forward. The fantasy of a simple divorce is often just that. You're paying people to argue over a pie that shrinks with every billable hour. Divorce is one of the most stressful life events with a direct financial cost, what I call the emotional tax. When stressed, you're not in the right state of mind to make sound financial decisions. Instead, decisions are driven by short-term emotional needs. One common behavior is revenge spending, another is capitulation spending, agreeing to unfair settlements just to end the conflict. The emotional tax also manifests as avoidance of financial matters. They let bills pile up, miss deadlines, and damage their credit score. Furthermore, the stress of divorce can directly impact your ability to earn an income. Recognizing its existence is the first step toward mitigating the damage. Beyond legal fees, there's a quieter cost, the opportunity cost of the chaos. It's the value of what you give up when you make a choice. During a divorce, your time and energy are consumed, diverting resources from growth. The world doesn't stop, and you miss out on career advancement and earning potential. Your focus is shattered. You might decline opportunities due to legal needs. Your career can stall, and that lost income is unrecoverable. You may neglect your investments, leading to underperformance. Instead of planning for the future, you're untangling the past. The opportunity cost is the financial future you could have been building. It's a silent wealth killer, one of the most tragic hidden costs of all. Let's talk about Sarah, a composite of many clients I've seen. Sarah was a diligent, high-earning marketing director. She and her husband had what they called an amicable divorce. They split their investment accounts right down the middle. Sarah walked away with half of their nest egg, but the real damage was in the aftermath. As a single person in an expensive city, her costs exploded. The engine of her wealth-building machine had slowed to a crawl. That dream was pushed back by 15, maybe 20 years. The amicable split had cost her nearly 2 decades of financial freedom and the destruction of her compounding timeline. Even the best-case scenario divorce is financially devastating. It's a quiet thief that steals your most valuable financial asset, time. Now let's look at Mark, a 41-year-old software engineer. Unlike Sarah's amicable split, Mark's divorce was a war. He and his spouse disagreed on everything. What started as a disagreement quickly escalated into a high-conflict legal battle that dragged on for nearly 3 years. Mark was forced to hire an expensive lawyer, and soon, other experts joined the fray. Over the course of 30 months, Mark's legal and expert fees climbed to over $120,000. It was money being incinerated by the conflict, making both him and his ex-spouse significantly poorer. The financial toll was matched by the emotional and professional cost. He was passed over for a promotion he had been working towards for years. When the dust finally settled, Mark's financial life was in ruins. Mark's story is a cautionary tale about the astronomical cost of a contested divorce. Let's consider one more story, that of David and Chloe, both in their early 30s. They were the classic young professional couple. They had good jobs, a stylish apartment in a trendy neighborhood, and an active social life. They ate out several times a week, took international vacations, and drove nice cars. From the outside, they looked successful, but their lifestyle was funded by 2 solid incomes working in tandem. They weren't saving aggressively, but they were comfortable. When they decided to divorce, they didn't have a massive investment portfolio to fight over, but the dissolution of their financial partnership triggered a different kind of crisis, a lifestyle collapse. Suddenly, the dual income machine that supported their life was gone. Chloe moved out, and her first shock was realizing she couldn't afford a similar apartment on her own. She had to move to a less desirable neighborhood, farther from her work and friends. David stayed in the old apartment, but quickly found that the rent, which was manageable with 2 incomes, now consumed nearly half of his take-home pay. The comfortable lifestyle they had known was simply not sustainable on single incomes. The fancy dinners, weekend trips, and little luxuries they took for granted vanished overnight. They were both forced into a state of immediate and severe austerity. This is what I call the slow financial burn. It's not a single dramatic event like a huge legal bill, but a chronic grinding financial pressure that erodes your quality of life and mental well-being over time. David had to sell the car they shared and start taking the bus, adding an hour to his daily commute. Chloe had to take on a weekend bartending job just to make ends meet and start building an emergency fund from scratch. They were both constantly stressed about money, a feeling that was new and overwhelming for them. The social life they once shared dissolved, as they could no longer afford to keep up with their coupled friends. The long-term impact of this slow burn is profound. For years, neither David nor Chloe was able to save meaningfully for retirement. They were stuck in survival mode, with every spare dollar going toward debt or basic living expenses. They lost critical years of compounding in their early 30s, a time when every dollar invested has the most potential for growth. Their story highlights a risk that many young professionals face. Even if you haven't built a massive net worth yet, a divorce can still be financially crippling by dismantling the lifestyle you've built and forcing you back to a financial starting line you thought you had left behind years ago. Let's talk about prenups. Forget the Hollywood cliché. A prenup isn't a plan for divorce. It's a financial business plan for your marriage. It protects the wealth you're building together. It's about transparency and setting financial rules from a place of love, not resentment. You wouldn't start a business without an operating agreement, right? Marriage is the biggest financial partnership of your life. A prenup lets you decide how finances are handled, making your own rules. not leaving it to the state or lawyers. It defines marital versus separate property, protecting business growth, stock options, and inheritances. It forces honest financial conversations, strengthening your relationship. It's a sign of financial maturity and respect. It's about defining ours intentionally. Ignoring it is like driving without insurance. Whether you have a prenup or not, the single most important habit for a financially successful marriage is radical transparency. This means no secret bank accounts, no hidden credit card debt, and no unilateral financial decisions. You and your partner need to operate as a team. This starts with regular, scheduled money meetings. Once a month, you sit down together and you go over everything: your income, your spending, your progress toward your savings goals, and your investment performance. It turns money from a source of conflict into a shared project. During these meetings, you need to be brutally honest. A key part of this transparency is creating a joint financial system. This provides both shared responsibility and individual autonomy. The key is that the entire system is transparent and agreed upon by both of you. This habit of radical transparency builds an incredible amount of trust. Protecting your wealth in a partnership is, honestly, a bit of a paradox. It requires you to be both a fully integrated team and a strong, independent financial individual. A strong marriage is made of two strong people, not two people who have completely lost their individual identities in the we. This means that while you're working on your shared goals, you should never, ever completely abdicate responsibility for your own financial well-being. Both partners should understand the family finances. Both should know the passwords to the investment accounts. Both should be involved in the long-term planning. A partnership where one person handles all the money isn't really a partnership, it's a vulnerability. This means you must maintain your own financial literacy and your own financial identity. Continue to read about investing. Keep an eye on your own credit score. Maintain your own professional network and keep focusing on growing your own career and income. This isn't selfish, it's prudent. It actually makes the partnership stronger, because you're both bringing more to the table. It also provides a critical safety net. If life throws you a curveball, divorce, disability, or the death of a partner, you're not left helpless and financially illiterate. You have the skills and knowledge to manage on your own because you never stop being an active participant. Part of building this fortress involves creating layers of protection. This includes having a robust emergency fund that can cover 6 months of your combined living expenses. This fund is your first line of defense against job loss or unexpected bills, preventing you from going into debt and starting a financial death spiral. It also means having adequate insurance, life insurance and disability insurance, to protect the family's income stream if something happens to one of you. These are not exciting purchases, but they are the bedrock of a secure financial plan. They're the moat around your financial fortress, protecting everything you're building inside. Ultimately, the best way to protect your wealth is to build a life you don't want to leave. This means investing in your relationship just as much as you invest in your 401k. The financial tools, the prenup, the budget, the joint accounts are critically important. But they work best when they support a partnership built on shared values, mutual respect, and open communication. When you and your partner are actively co-creating a rich life that you both find exciting and fulfilling, you're building the ultimate protection. You're aligning your incentives. You're working toward the same future, not just with your money, but with your hearts and minds. That is a fortress that is very, very difficult to tear down. We've covered some harsh realities: asset division, expenses, and hidden costs. You alone are the ultimate guardian of your financial future. No one will care about your money more than you do. Taking ownership is not optional, especially in a partnership. Play the long game with consistent habits. Invest in yourself. Your ability to earn is the engine. Never stop learning and growing your professional value. A strong career provides options. Personal and professional growth is non-negotiable. Take an active, strategic approach to protecting your future. Engineer a resilient path to success. We've journeyed through the financial wreckage that a divorce can cause, and honestly, it's a sobering picture. But I want to leave you with a message of empowerment, not fear. Knowledge is power. Understanding the risks is the first and most critical step toward mitigating them. You are now aware of the single greatest threat to your wealth, and that awareness puts you miles ahead of the average person who walks into marriage with little more than romantic ideals and a shared Netflix password. You have the information you need to be intentional, to be proactive, and to build a financial life that is resilient enough to withstand life's inevitable challenges, whatever they may be. The core lesson is this: a strong financial foundation is built on communication and transparency. The tools we've discussed, prenuptial agreements, regular money meetings, shared budgets, and individual financial literacy, are not just defense mechanisms against divorce. They are the very habits that build strong, healthy, and lasting financial partnerships. A couple that can openly discuss debt, create shared goals, and navigate financial disagreements constructively is not only protecting themselves from a worst-case scenario, they are actively building a better, more collaborative, and more successful life together. These practices are pro-relationship and pro-wealth. They are one and the same. Your rich life is your own unique vision. It might involve early retirement, traveling the world, starting a business, or having the freedom to work on projects you love without worrying about the paycheck. Divorce is a threat to that vision because it attacks the resources, your assets, your income, and your time that you need to make it a reality. By taking proactive steps to protect those resources, you are not just protecting your net worth, you are protecting your dreams. You are ensuring that a change in your relationship status does not have to mean the end of the life you have worked so hard to build for yourself. So go forward and build your rich life with confidence. Have the conversations that matter. Create a financial plan with your partner that is built on clarity and mutual respect. Invest in yourself, your career, and your financial education. Build a financial fortress so strong that it supports your life's biggest goals and can weather any storm. A rich life is not about being lucky, it's about being intentional. You now have the knowledge to be intentional about protecting your wealth. The rest is up to you. Start today. We've covered a lot, from hard numbers to wealth protection. Remember, this is educational content, not a substitute for professional advice. Your situation is unique. This essay empowers you to ask the right questions and seek the right help. Don't blindly implement ideas. Do your research and consult professionals. Considering a prenup? Speak to a family law attorney. Structuring finances as a couple? Consult a fee-only financial planner. This essay is your briefing, outlining risks and opportunities. Invest in professional advice. It's a high-return investment. Secure your financial future. Your rich life depends on it.